not a fan, you must not be from Roy.
Okay. Okay. It'll rotate again. If you could name the bands, I'll answer all your questions. This one's easy. It says it on it. Keep doing that. Why does it?
Oh, that's the Mighty Ducks. Yeah. Instead of, you know your age. Oh.
What is that?
Bow wow wow.
Apparently.
Never heard of them.
See, their most popular song is "I Want Candy."
So you have heard them, you just don't know. That's a lot of
I-
bands.
Well,
I just have a bunch of album covers that rotate through, so. Apparently, I am streaming.
Nice.
That's what it's one program says. I don't see it on on YouTube, so. Wondering if I get here in time.
It's got 9 minutes. No, we got Claude. You better hurry.
2 in a row would be, huh?
Well, there's only 2 administrative items on there. It's not like
I know.
anybody's gonna eat your lunch on a legislative issue.
I like we got a.
How you doing, Jason?
Bad, yourself?
Okay. A little bit of stress, but life,
Manageable?
inflation. So, not anything I can manage, but
Right, yeah.
The fact that gas has gone up almost $1 in a week.
wife goes to the grocery store and
When
Can't
I filled
afford
my
meat and
wife's
can't
car,
find
it was
chicken,
$40,
you know,
it was
that kinda stuff.
62.
I
Chris,
went to work today after going to the dentist, and Maverick down in Riverdale was $3.99.
Yeah.
When I was coming back, it was $4.19.
Mhm. Yep, just like that.
All the way at the end, I have to note it.
Not gonna improve anytime soon either. So that's what's bugging me.
I got made fun of by all my buddies about it being so small, but
Now they're all wishing they had it.
No, they have their place for sure. Right behind, before this whole thing, I went and got rid of everything that was fuel efficient. 2 4-wheel drive cars, and that's all we have now. Truck and
I'll
SUV.
sell you a Mini, 80 grand.
I just
right
sold
now.
a Mini. And crazy turned a good sale on it too. That's the crazy thing.
still got my Corvette in my truck, but I don't drive them as much as I do.
You know, you'd be a
Yeah,
wealthy
you-
man if you sold all your tools.
So,
Spend $100,000 on this thing or whatever.
what does your Corvette get? Like 8 miles of the gallon?
10?
10 miles of the gallon?
I haven't driven it enough to know yet, to be honest.
Gotcha.
What year?
It's 90, I rebuilt the motor and trans in, but I hopped it up a bit, so.
What's it got in it?
Got the 5.7 liter in it still that I had before, but
So you get the same sensation driving that as the astronauts do on liftoff. When you pull out of the driveway.
I built it mildly, but I do have a 300 horsepower shot of nitrous to go on it. So I built the motor to take nitrous,
That helps you get on the on
What you're
ramps,
saying is
right?
you're gonna get really good gas mileage.
Yeah, cause it's not gonna get driven, it's gonna sit in the garage.
Cops gave them close.
But see, since they shut down Rocky Mountain Raceway, now I'm kinda like, I'll just sell the nitrous kit.
They really close
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Why?
When it's done, we burn all down.
Wasn't that what the Chinese were looking to buy like years ago?
I think so.
Any,
Motor Miller Sports Park.
yeah,
Oh, is it
any
Miller?
racing, they
Next to
take
Doug
it
Lake,
there.
Proving Grounds Convenient.
And
right
Ryan's
now.
here.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain Raceway is different.
I see them mocking him.
Good.
Now you-
Ryan?
We got 5,
Yeah.
so.
you just-
Oh, we got,
I got
Oh, we got alternates, never mind.
Model
They
S
might be
Plaid
coming up
series.
anyway.
So the equivalent they've just said is about, it's about
Oh,
1,000.
we have 4 plus 2.
Plus 2, we got plenty, yeah.
I'm not worried.
Look sharp, man.
How's it going?
But now they're like 120,000.
I'm running a second.
Made it with the snow.
Yeah, I won't buy an electric car for a
My
while.
wife was surprised we were doing this with the caucuses tonight.
No, I got
I
about
have to represent
Farmington.
It's 24 grand to replace the batteries after 5
And
years.
it's like,
Well, that's
watch that
very
next time.
for international.
What?
the other thing
Wa-
that I don't think
watch
people are
it.
thinking about is
Or attend.
Apparently
This is
Ryan's
sad.
going to
come out of the gas and oil industry.
What's that?
You have to wear a suit coat and a tie.
And a tie. Is that brutal or what?
Get shut down.
Yes.
Are you?
I only put it on at, 5:30.
And where the majority of the world's batteries made?
Bad now.
China.
I walk in, first thing I do is
Owns
look at
most
that
of the rare earth
nameplate.
elements to make them. China.
Walked in last time.
Part of the build back China better bill, I guess. Now, you gotta explain your screensaver there,
Album covers.
Parkinson. Oh, yeah.
Some of those from the early 90s could get you in trouble.
Luckily, I don't have any from the early 90s.
You know,
They're all mid-80s.
Oh, some of those are,
I'm not a cold weather person.
especially some of this, if you're a Scorpions fan.
If I can see my breath, it's too cold for me
No?
to be outside. I just stay.
Only one that I'd have to
months out of
hurry
the
and
year.
cover up.
Pretty much being a crew
Steel
chief out on the
Pulse
flight
album.
line for
Oh.
10 years, took it out of me. I
What?
don't wanna be out in the
Steel
weather
Pulse,
anymore.
That's what I
it's a
said.
reggae band.
Especially if you're stationed at Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
One I see her once in a while and
Yeah,
I would
there's
delete
no.
that. Forget about it, cause
You always have to flip the window there too.
I'm trying to think if I have any that are.
it comes up once every blue
Oh.
moon.
Speaking of 90s,
Of course.
acted like that since the Winter Olympics 2000.
Well, it's starting and would invite you up.
How are you doing?
Bringing the weather.
Did you order the snow?
Absolutely. I missed it when I lived in Las Vegas.
I'll have to have lunch.
Mhm.
Say, we won't lose you tourists in in a snowstorm with that coat.
My wife bought it for me on vacation. When we came up one time and it snowed on me, I didn't have a coat.
I think, won't we get lost on that one?
Got a couple.
All right, Ryan, I missed your call.
That's all right. And then I thought I would, so.
I just like to let Claude, sweat for a bit. He was sweating, then all of a sudden he saw you walk past, he's like, okay.
Should have timed that a little bit better to make you really sweat.
You should
Actually
come in
seen-
this door.
Actually seen him get out of his car.
Oh.
Fucker.
Went okay, other than trying to get adjournments before. Motion
That
to
sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.
Fun gave that your,
I'll accept it. Any reason Steve's got a tie on tonight?
He was gonna be on TV. Gonna be on YouTube.
About time.
All right, well, it's 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and call to order the Roy Planning Commission meeting for March 8th, 2022. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Spar.
Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Steve, do we want to invite one of the alternates up? Does it matter? I don't know how we typically.
Dan's the first.
Okay, go ahead and come on up, Jan.
Yeah.
Or
I put one of you on.
Now we're not very diverse, we're all males.
No, he does. I tried.
well, it is National Women's Day today, so that would have
That's
been
only fair. It's an all-male
that would have been
panel.
appropriate.
Yeah.
He's probably off partying then.
Do any of the planning commissioners have a conflict that they need to declare tonight?
No.
No.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 2, which is a continuation of a request for architectural approval for Jarco Development located at approximately 4987 South, 1900 West. And we've had him here a couple times, so please come forward and give us your name and address and tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
James Adams, good to see everybody again. I guess this is what, my third time up here, Steve? So yeah, I can kind of refresh you guys. The home we're talking about here is just on the corner right here, next to the fire station. Last time we got approval for, or conditional approval for the site plan. So now I'm here trying to get approval for the architectural plan. So if you can see obviously the highlighted area there. If you can go to the next slide there, which we saw this last time we met, but parking lot there. Maybe you can go back, Steve, or forward, either way. Parking lot there, closer to the fire station. You'll see the red areas where the duplex is going. You can go to the next slide. I think one more, you'll see the buildings here. So the bottom right one right there would be Unit 1 facing south. And then you'll see the top, top left one would be Unit 2 facing east. Yep. So yeah, got with the architect and with Steve, and pretty sure we're good on elevations and square footage and all that. So I can answer any questions that you guys have, or Steve's pretty, he knows this pretty well too, so.
All right, are there any questions? Okay, thank you. Steve?
As mentioned, this is just the architectural review approval. During the last meeting, in January, you approved the site plan, which we'd seen earlier, showing the location of it and the parking stalls. He didn't have the elevations at that time, so he came, we're here tonight. So this is actually the second revision of the elevations, just so you know. We had to modify a few things, but I would say 99.9% meets the ordinance, so I can't say 100% just because, well, nothing's perfect. But it meets the intent of the ordinance. It meets the requirements for facade, jotting in and out, relief. I like the next picture. Kind of shows the juxtaposition, showing how the shadowing would affect it and kind of breaks it up and stuff. And that's what your ordinance is for, is to break up those long spaces of walls so that they have some relief. And again, it meets the ordinance and the intent of the ordinance, so staff would recommend approval of the architecture.
All right, thank you. Any other comments from the commission? Okay, a motion's in order.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the architectural review for Jarko multifamily at approximately 4987 South, 1900 West.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That'll look nice when it's done. All right, we'll move on to item number 3, which is to consider request for site plan and architectural approval for Ladon Apartments, located approximately 1775 West, 4800 South. And go ahead and come forward and please state your name and address and then tell us about your project here.
Good evening, my name's Natalia. And over at Ladon Apartments, we want to install carports for our residents. And we can walk you through that.
Hold
Or
on,
I'll-
having issues.
This time must be getting in the way.
Well, I told it to duplicate what my screen is showing, and it likes to go. Anybody? There we go.
And then can we go to the next slide? All right, so the objective is to install carports for our residents.
If you could speak into the microphone
Oh,
just a
I'm
little bit,
sorry.
that would.
Kind of short.
Should move down.
Here we go, is this better?
Much better, thank you.
Perfect. So the objective is to install carports for our residents.
You're on your tippy toes, aren't
I am. All right, here we go. Much better.
Very
Great.
good.
And installing carports is going to improve the quality of life for our residents, right? They no longer have to shovel snow when they get into their cars. And also, it's going to protect their assets, their vehicle. So we see this as a plus for our residents. Can we go on to the next? And this is where the property is located. And then if you go to the next one. So this was the original site plan. And where you see the red, or the white X's, that's where the carports are going to go. The one area that was sort of brought up to discussion was the red area towards the back. And so looking into this further and walking the property again, we discovered that there's not enough room for the number of stalls that we want to install in this area. So we're going to move the 7 stalls right in front of the leasing office. If you go to the next slide, there we go. That's where we're going to install in that little orange highlight.
Oh,
Okay.
And if you go to the next one, this is where the carports are going to be installed. So instead of them going towards the back, they're going to be in front by the leasing office. And then this is the carport design. This is how they'll look. And they're going to be an ash gray color. These are sort of the architectural engineerings of the carports. So as mentioned earlier, we're planning on installing 64 parking stalls. The project will start 2 weeks after permits are approved and received by our team, and the project should take about 3 to 4 weeks to be completed. Any questions?
We're not losing any stalls, are we?
What?
We're not losing any existing parking stalls? are we?
No, not at all.
Have accommodations been made to offset the parking while you're doing the installation? I mean, as far as the people that normally park there, you don't want them there while they're putting it up. Has there been some accommodations made for them to park elsewhere during this
Right.
construction period?
Yep, great question. So there's a lot of parking all around that area. So there's going to be more than enough parking for our residents to sort of move over.
Perfect.
And we're going to install them on a schedule, so not everyone's going to be missing their parking stall at the same time.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Steve, you're up.
Okay, as mentioned, this is a project for Ladon Apartments at 1775 West, 4800 South. Just kind of an aerial version. It's in between 19 and 1750, pre-existing. Most of the parking stalls are uncovered. So the great thing that this will do is really bring it up to today's standards where we require one parking being covered and one can be uncovered. So it really brings it kind of up to the standards, but also because it is a non-conforming, they didn't have to. So it really helps their residents. Again, my only question was where the red X is, just, you know, where it was in relationship to the property line. But if they're gonna move it over where they'd indicated, then, you know, staff really has no concerns anymore. I just have the same elevations, but staff would recommend approval of both the site and architecture of the buildings. Not much architecture in a awning, but, you know, it's the wording that we have to go by.
Right, any further questions? Okay, a motion's in order.
I make a motion that we approve the site plan and architecture approval for Ladon Apartments, approximately 70.
Are these two
That'd be
motions?
Are they two motions?
Yep.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the site plan for Ladon Apartments, approximately 1775 West, 4800 South.
We have a motion to approve the site plan.
Second.
Have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Now we need the second
Then we'll
motion.
do the second part of it. Make a motion that we approve the architectural approval for the Ladon Apartments at 1775 West, 4800 South.
Right, motion to approve the architectural plan. Is there a second?
Second.
Right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, passes unanimous as well. Thank you. This will be a nice addition to the apartments there, so thank you.
Great, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we will move on to item number 4 on the agenda, which is Commissioner's Minute. I don't have anything. Do any of the other commissioners have anything for tonight?
I just want to say Steve looks really sharp tonight.
Steve, how did what happened with the meeting on the 22nd go? The work
Came,
meeting?
it went, they talked, they didn't talk. I'll just address it now. I assume you're talking about the rezone over by Bridge Academy. Well, on the 22nd of February, it failed in all accounts. Actually, there was a motion made to approve the general plan amendment, and no second occurred, no discussion was made, and it died lack of second. After the meeting, staff got with council along with Mike Brodsky, found out kind of what the others were thinking of why they didn't, you know, make those motions. They came back on March 1st with a different concept, still R3 zone, but for 34 single-family homes rather than 13 single-family and 38 townhomes. So the council approved that with the condition it's single-family homes. So that got approved.
Good.
Small modification than what you guys saw, but not really.
I think we were talking about the work meeting for the
Yeah,
general
about the
plan.
work
The
meeting.
general plan.
Oh, well, you didn't specify which meeting.
Both, right?
But I'm interested in both.
The work session, yeah, it came, it went. The consultant came and presented the executive summary. We opened it up for big concerns and questions. There weren't any, I'm trying to say this politically correct now. A few of them wanted to discuss page by page, and a few others did not. So shortly thereafter, the meeting ended and we were done. So I'm not sure where it's gonna go from here. If those others who didn't wanna go page by page, what their plans are. I know the mayor would still like to have a work session to go through some of those concerns.
And I think the mayor asked them to send to him an email their specific concerns.
I think it
After
was
they
supposed
went
to
through
send
it.
them to me.
Oh, do you? Okay. But they were supposed to send that to staff just to go over. But, yeah, differences of opinions on a couple of them, so.
Yeah, but things like this are just hard because I know we've worked on this for years. And so, I mean, if you want to go page by page through that, that's fine. But they've also had the opportunity to come to open houses and make comments on the general plan as well. So I just hope this isn't one of those things that gets stuck there for another year
But I think one of the
to
comments,
get through.
one of the comments that was made was that they're still getting input on it. And there's gotta be a hard line where we say, you know, we've gotta get this thing adopted, and we just can't keep pulling it off while everybody gets comments. So we just gotta get the comments done and in, and
Meeting on December, because we didn't want to carry it over. We didn't want to carry that thing over into January, remember?
Sure.
Because we were like, no, we've had, what, 2.5 years to say something, so let's just get the ball rolling.
absolutely.
And who wants to go over page by page? You let me know. Oh, my gosh.
I got paid for page by page.
You're not an attorney anymore.
Oh, okay.
You've been disbarred.
Read the
And
notes.
no, and it's
Read the-
far from a perfect document, and I think most of us can recognize that. But at least it gives us a good idea of something that we want to have happen in our community in the future. So I hope that they can move quickly on getting that, so we don't get stuck another year. Because a lot of the things that are happening now can kind of fit under that mold and that umbrella. Where if we keep delaying it, then it
I
just
don't think it
puts it
will
off
sit
further. So
much longer.
So like the mayor's anxious to get this done.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a one and done thing either. I mean, we go
No,
back
I
and
mean,
address
that-
this every 10
There were
years.
several comments that, you know, it's not like we're approving this and putting it in concrete. It can be approved tomorrow. It can be, you know, or amended tomorrow. And
Yeah.
Right.
so
It's a living document. It
the,
can be
the discussion was lengthy and long, but, yeah, I'll leave it there.
good idea.
all right, we'll move on to the next item, which is staff update.
If you happen to be driving around Roy, north end of town over there by Hinckley and 1900 West, they finally got all their plans reviewed, approved, and stamped. So they're beginning their site work for those townhomes. And then Holiday Oil on the west side of town is busy constructing theirs.
And hope our residents are thrilled, I'm sure.
I haven't heard.
Really?
Well, I heard from one. Her argument was, how are you going to get gas tanks in that where there's water? And I'm like, I don't know. Not my problem. It's theirs. But so those things are on the way. If you have a few other projects that you guys have seen that are still trying to get their documents done, so that's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Well, we'll move on to the next item, which is to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh, we said aye this time.
Okay.
I saw his,
It's
Oh.
unanimous.
I saw his
Wow.
mouth move.
Kept waiting, so. All right, we're adjourned.
Horace wanted to go page by page.
Where are you when I need you?
Someone's got to give me a hard time.
And I asked that question, by the way.
Steve.